Hello and welcome to the Phoenix Theatre podcast. So in this series, you're going to hear some conversations with the cast of the play Full Circle by Janet Shaw, which is going to be performed in November 2024 at the Phoenix Theatre in Ross-on-Wye. And for this episode, we're joined by the lovely Mel Bailey. Say hello, Mel.
Hello.
There she is. And in fact, we're sitting in the auditorium of the theatre. And maybe before we get into talking about you and talking about the role that you're playing and the play, what would you say about this theatre? For anyone that hasn't been already, what's the appeal of this theatre, do you think?
I think the closeness of the actors to the actual theatre itself. So you're feeling as though you're actually really a part of it. And it is that coziness. Mm-hmm. And I found since being here, because I've not been here a long time, but it's the whole family feel. And everybody is made to feel welcome and you're made to feel part of that family. And it's great.
Yes, I agree. And I think there's that intimacy, isn't there, where because the front row of the seats is actually on the same level as the stage, if it's like this play is, it's set in someone's living room, you kind of almost feel like you're in the room with the actors, which takes a bit of getting used to, but I think is a real bonus because you feel really quite immersed in it, don't you?
You do. You're a fly on the wall.
Exactly.
Of all the commotion and all the goings on of the family.
And talking about commotion and goings on then, that's actually quite a good way to describe this play, isn't it? What other sort of insights would you give us about the play? Obviously, without giving too much away, but how would you describe it?
I would say that when you look at the characters, there is an awful lot that people will probably be able to say, I can relate to that one, as in, mother-in-laws, partners, children. Life isn't just full of everything ending up rosy like Hollywood. This is sort of the nitty-gritty of problems that people do come across and ways of finding answers and having that humour as well. Because I think we as when we look at ourselves and our lives, we do try to find humour and we do have humour. So there is that to it as well.
I think it's really well written in that way, isn't it? It's really well crafted in that it's got that wit, it's got that humour, but it's also got a lot of poignant moments. And your character is part of this backstory, isn't it? Which is sort of teased out as the play goes along. And I wonder, I don't know, I'm going to ask you that question. Was that perhaps one of the things that attracted you to the role when you read the play?
Definitely, because there are so many different little interconnecting stories that when you find out reasons why people are the way they are and how they have really moulded people, it's, to me, that is so interesting because it is like life, really. We are who we are because of what's happened. And that was one huge element for me. The other one was the big C word in communication. That is key. And that is a reason a lot of things have fallen down with this family as you find out as the play goes on. So the fact that you don't really understand, but it is like peeling a banana. As you start to peel the layers back, it's revealed, and you go, oh,
yes.
And I love that.
And your character, which we should say is Millie.
Yes.
So is one of the grandmothers. There are two grandmothers, aren't there? And you haven't spoken to the other grandmother for a few decades. And as you say, when we do eventually find out what has happened, it explains a lot about your character and also about the other grandmother's character. And exactly as you very eloquently said, how it's actually moulded them. And it's not just their attitude to each other, I think, how it's actually moulded their attitude to everybody and how they respond to the world.
Yes, it's almost like putting on a mask, or putting on, some people say putting on your makeup. What you're doing is you're facing the world, and you're facing it with a barrier, a protection in front of you, so that you are not hurt again. And many people do go through hurt in their life, and it's how it's dealt with, and that's another part of this play. And so there are lots of little elements, and the whole idea of full circle is that idea of learning as you go along and being able to adapt, and rather than getting into sort of a vicious circle, you're getting into the circle where you're getting back to a better place, and that's what this play is looking at.
Oh, I love that. Yes, absolutely. So we promised that we would keep these little podcasts quite short. So to end with, what would you say that the audience might experience, might get out of coming to this play? Why should somebody listening pay their, however much it is, is it 12 quid? £12. It's nothing, listener, it's nothing at all. Why should they pay their £12 to come along and see this play, would you say?
First of all, they're going to get a lot of enjoyment from it. There's going to be full emotions, both extremes. So they're going to experience that. They're also hopefully going to be able to resonate with some of the characters, and hopefully feel sorry for them. And finally, it's just for me, I think, a great night out, because it is that family theatre where people come along and they really are a part of the play.
Yes, lovely. Well, Mel, we wish you all the best with your play, and we look forward to seeing your characterisation of Millie. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you.